We all think of YouTube as the place to go for VODs, but did you know that YouTube does live streaming and they made a lot of changes to compete with Twitch? But are they right for you, or should you still stick with Twitch? Let's take a look in detail and find out. Everybody knows Twitch is like the behemoth in the live game streaming industry. They have some 70% or so of the live stream traffic every month. You don't think of live streaming as much when you think about YouTube, because YouTube is always where you go and you watch videos. You just don't think of it that way. You don't think of YouTube as a streaming site. YouTube actually gets more traffic overall. Twitch gets, 140 million viewers per month. YouTube gets about 1 billion viewers per month, just not on the gaming side. Gaming side is much smaller, but they're making efforts to try to improve their offering over the last few years in terms of the functionality they're offering. They're doing what they can to get there. What I have done is I have broken down this comparison to 9 categories that I put into 2 groups. The first group is called stream management, and the second group is called user management, and we'll be comparing YouTube and Twitch. So we're going to go down each of the categories in these 2 groups, and then I'll tell you which streaming platform I think is better in this category. And then at the end, I'll tell you what I think is better for you, depending on what you plan on doing. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is the technical features of YouTube and Twitch. They're very similar. So they both allow you to live stream. They both allow you to do a lot of the same things. You can set your bit rate. You can set a lot of things. They both have chat. They both have interactions with chat. They both have a lot of the same features. If you're looking at them, they look different, but a lot of the underlying features are there. However, what separates the 2 of them are some of the additional things that you can find on YouTube that you can't find on Twitch. YouTube, for instance, has a live DVR. As you're watching this right now, you can pause this stream as I'm talking, go do something else, come back and finish the stream. You can rewind the stream. You can rewind the stream to make a clip. So the live DVR function, which gets overlooked quite a bit on YouTube live streaming, is phenomenal and is a difference maker in my opinion. Another difference maker for YouTube is the fact that doing test streams is infinitely easier on YouTube, because when you create a test stream, you can set it to public, private, or unlisted. And that means that when we want to test this before every stream, I just make a test stream. I set it to unlisted. I give her the URL, and then she can tell me if everything looks right as we walk through the different scenes and different things that I want to do. And we can pretty easily tell that if it's going to work or not with the same exact functionality and technical components that I would have on my live stream, my public live stream. We can see and test. On Twitch, on the other hand, I use Streamlabs. In Streamlabs, in order for me to do a test, in Twitch, I don't have the ability to do a non-listed live stream. So I have to go live. I don't want to go live on my main account. I want to use an alt account. So what we do is I log out of my account on Streamlabs. I log in to Twitch with my alt account, and then I can test it. Now, that may not sound too bad, but if you have Streamlabs Prime, you have it under a specific login account. I have it under Morphine. My test account, I usually use MorphBot, which you will see in my Twitch streams showing up in my chat because I renamed the Streamlabs CloudBot to MorphBot. But MorphBot doesn't have a Streamlabs Prime subscription. So I don't get to take advantage of a good number of the features that I have already set up in my scene. So while I can go live and I can see what works and what doesn't work, I don't have the ability to really know, it's not really apples to apples compared to my other account that has Streamlabs Prime on it. And another feature that is available in YouTube as a technical feature that is definitely great if you're creating videos is when you are when you're streaming, your videos can show up below as recommended, which is basically like free advertising for your own videos. So that's fantastic. And one of the last two things is YouTube's mobile app is significantly better. You can do so much more in YouTube's mobile app, both as a streamer and a viewer, than you can in the Twitch app. And they allow you to stream it up to 4K. Twitch does not allow you to stream up to 4K. So that is fantastic. Now, Twitch does have two things that are better than YouTube, and that is actual raids. I talked about raids a second ago, but it's not nearly as good as Twitch. You can't just go live or push your stream to anybody whenever you want. You have to schedule in advance, and it's kind of limited. They're working on it, but it is still kind of limited. And the second thing is there are far more extensions available for Twitch than there are for YouTube. There really are not. There's like a few that allow you to do some they give you some benefit when you're posting videos, but Twitch has dozens and dozens of extensions to sort of help with viewer engagement, and so that's really important thing for them. But overall, I'm gonna have to give the edge on this one to YouTube. So the next category is growth. Now, this is another, for me, this is a no-brainer. This is absolutely no-brainer. So this ties pretty closely with the next category too, but I will talk about them separately. So when we're talking growth, we're talking how fast does your stream grow? There are a lot of factors that go into it. The reason why growth is better on YouTube is because they have so many videos there of yours that you upload, or from your live streams, or from clips that are made, that stay permanently. As I'm streaming now, it is searchable by any of the tags that I put in. And when I am not live, people can still find and search for my content. And that allows me to grow faster. On Twitch, if I didn't get a follower when I'm live, I wasn't getting a follower. If I didn't get a sub when I was live, I wasn't getting a sub. YouTube is good for live stream, and they are fantastic when you're not live. So you're growing, you have the ability to grow 24/7, 365. On Twitch, you're only going to grow when you're streaming, so you're kind of forced to stream more. I definitely am giving the nod to YouTube for growth. It's a no-brainer about that. Following that up, we have discoverability. So discoverability feeds into the previous category of growth, and this one also, it's a little bit closer, but it's at the end of the day, there's still a clear winner here. So the way it works on Twitch, you start streaming and it puts your game into the category. Each game is its own category. There are other categories like just chatting and talk shows and podcasts, but there are a few categories, right? And then in each gaming its own category as well. And when you go into that category, if you're a viewer, it's going to say recommended for you. But what's recommended for you is typically just the bigger streamers. You could go into the sort in Twitch and you could tell it to sort by lower views to high, but the default is high views to low, and even in recommended. So Twitch really benefits bigger streamers. They really want to push the bigger streamers. If you are smaller, this is why it's harder to grow on Twitch, because they're not prioritizing you. However, on YouTube, so they do have an index search just like Twitch does. But what really makes YouTube far superior for discoverability is that they use the same algorithm that tells you, that recommends videos to you whenever you go on there. They recommend streams to you when you go on there. If you're somebody that is trying to get into streaming and you've been searching for how to stream, how to do this a lot lately, you know that when you go in, that's going to be what's on your page, on your YouTube homepage. When you go in, it's going to show all those kind of titles that you've been searching for, in addition to my live stream, because I have those same titles, those same tags in the description of this video. So it's pushing people to me even if they weren't looking for something live. So because the fact that they do have same index directory kind of system as Twitch, but because they also have a search algorithm that does the work for you and drives people to your channel, I'm absolutely going to give YouTube the nod for discoverability as well. So the next category we have is analytics. This one is pretty close because both platforms have pretty good analytics. They really do. On Twitch, you can get analytics from your stream. You can get analytics on your channel overall. And if you're talking about analytics on your stream, and I'm just going to kind of pull mine up and take a look at it here. So they have a number of things you can sort by when you're looking at your channel analytics page. All right, so this is the Twitch page. So on here, this is the channel analytics. You can see that you have average viewers, follows, subscriptions, revenue, time stream, minutes watched, live views, max views, unique viewers, host rate, unique chatters, chat messages, clip. You have a ton of things that you can look at on Twitch on the channel analytics. And stream summary is the same. Stream summary is going to show you the key categories that you want to look at on your stream, but just for that stream. But they're also going to show you at the end of your stream, you know, a section called where do my views come from? And when you click into that, it is going to show you things like what the location was, views by platform, views from Twitch, and when the views that are from Twitch, you know, where were they from? Followers, searches, browse pages, notifications, things like that. So you do have a good number of stats that you can look at on your Twitch stream. However, on YouTube, you just have so many more analytics that you can focus on. So they have at a base level, they have things, you know, views, watch time, subscribers, and you can dig down to those. So like if I was to show you this page, so this is the reach page, right? So this is telling me that, you know, in the last 28 days there's been 25,000 impressions, 1.4 click-through rate, views, the unique viewers. That's showing me the traffic source types, YouTube advertising, and external. YouTube advertising is not just paid advertising, it is also whenever they put you on the recommended side or they put you as a skippable ad, whatever it is, they're going to show you that. It's showing you watch time. If you go to engagement, you can see, you know, how long people are watching your streams and what is your watch time based on the video that you have. You can look at audience to get an idea of where your audience is from, how many subscribers you got, you know, how many members you got, what times people are watching you, and so on and so forth. So you get the point. So, yes, Twitch has some very good analytics. So for this one, actually, I'm going to still give the nod to YouTube because of the additional depth of analysis that is available. The next category is monetization. Yes, there are a lot of ways to monetize on Twitch. There are a lot of ways to monetize on Twitch. So these are the ways that you can monetize on YouTube versus Twitch. So tips, I called it generically tips, right? But I mean bits on Twitch. On YouTube, they're called super chats and super stickers. Now, what people always point to, well, you know, YouTube takes a 30% cut of those tips, and Twitch doesn't take anything, you know, because somebody has 10 bits and they give you 10 bits, you get 10 cents. Twitch technically takes nothing. Well, that's not true. Twitch takes their cut up front, so people don't realize that. So because if that was the case, if you bought 100 bits, which is $1, you would spend $1, but you're spending $1.40 to buy $1 worth of bits. So in that, the cut that Twitch takes varies based on how many you buy. I think the minimum you can buy is 100 bits, which is $1. You spend $1.40. If that's the case, Twitch takes a 30% cut, just like YouTube does. Or if you were to buy 5,000 bits, which I believe is $50, they go down to a 22% cut on Twitch. So they do somewhere between 22 and 30% cut of your bits up front. So to people that say that Twitch doesn't take anything, yes, of course they do. Subscriptions. We all know people complain about YouTube, about Twitch's cut. They take 50% off the top. 50% off the top. YouTube, just like with their donation, their tips, they take 30%. So you're getting a better cut of your subs. Twitch has 3 tiers, $5, $10, $25. Perks are not officially customizable. YouTube allows you to do whatever you want with your tiering and your perks. So like I have a $3 tier, a $5 tier, and a $10 tier. I made up those numbers myself. I could have 1 tier, I could have 5 tiers, whatever I want to do, whatever dollar amount I want to apply to it. I could have a 99-cent tier if I wanted to. And addition to that, I can completely customize my official perks that are available in my tiers. And you do that as you're setting up your tiers. That said, you can't gift subs in YouTube yet. You cannot gift subs on YouTube yet. That is a big deal. The next category is ad rev. So YouTube, that is the biggest way you're going to make money on YouTube right now is ad revenue. They have higher payouts, and it's not flat like it is on Twitch, where it's like $3 to $5, I believe, per 1,000 views CPM. On YouTube, the payout, the rate could be up to $18+ per 1,000, depending on the geography and the category that you're in, because they pay attention to those. But whatever it is, you're going to get more ad revenue on YouTube than you do on Twitch. Fourth and final way that you can make money on Twitch are merch sales. Twitch has built-in video game sales based on, well, whatever video game you're playing, people can click through and they can purchase that game. If they do that, you get a 5% commission. YouTube, they don't do video game sales. Of course they could, but they don't. What they do have is they have something they call a merch shelf, which they partner with a company called Teespring, I believe. And you go to that site when you're eligible for the merch shelf, which is at 30,000 followers. And you can create a whole range of t-shirts with custom graphics and all that stuff and other apparel. And they'll show 12 items on your merch shelf that people can scroll through and purchase. YouTube doesn't actually take a cut from what you set the price at. They take a cut of 2 to 3% on the back end. So if you have a t-shirt that somebody buys for $25 that has a $12 cost to you, you get that full $12. The $13 difference, YouTube gets 2 to 3% of that from Teespring. So yeah, you actually can make pretty good money on your merch shelf, but it takes a while to get there. 30,000 followers. In the meantime, what you could do is you could put a link to like a Stream Elements merch store or a Streamlabs merch store, and you can just have a link to that below your YouTube video. The same way that you could do the same thing on Twitch or either of those two sites and their respective merch stores, and you can make money from there too. So the edge on that though goes to Twitch, simply because you don't even have to do anything at all to be able to get that 5% commission in the video game sales, as long as people are purchasing it through your page. You don't have to think about it. It's just sort of, in a way, it's passive. Versus YouTube, you will technically probably make more money on their merch shelf, but you got to get to 30,000 followers to get there. So it's definitely more work. So that all said, I'm going to give the nod to both of them in this case. And this, I'm sure, is going to surprise a lot of people. And for anyone asking, well, what about donations and sponsorships? You had them listed. And I see people all the time as a way to talk up Twitch and monetization. Well, you know, Twitch takes no cut from your donations. Yeah, because they don't go through Twitch. It goes through a third party. The same way it goes through a third party for YouTube. You can put a PayPal link, which is an integration, an extension with Twitch, which YouTube doesn't have, and you can do that. But you could put a link to PayPal, a link to Streamlabs tipping and donation site, a link to Stream Elements tipping and donation site on YouTube, just like you could on Twitch. And obviously YouTube isn't going to take a cut either, because it's not going through them the same way it's not going through Twitch. Sponsorships are also not built in to Twitch. Despite what anybody tells you, they are not built into Twitch. They are not built into YouTube, but you can do sponsorships on both platforms. However, on YouTube, because your live stream becomes a VOD, what you can do is, if you want to get a sponsorship, you can record a tag, a video ad for that sponsor in your video. And then anytime anybody watches your video and they can look below your video and they can see a link to go purchase something from that site, you make money off that. You cannot do that on Twitch because nobody's looking for your VOD, and you can't put all of that information below your stream the same way you can on YouTube, especially not perpetually. So there's additional benefits there. But the reason I gave it to both of them is because you get a bigger cut of money on YouTube for tips, a bigger cut of money on YouTube for subs, more ad revenue, and the potential for more money for merch sales. The reason I didn't give it to YouTube though is because it is much more difficult to become monetized on YouTube versus Twitch. Twitch requires you to hit the base level, the lowest level of monetization at 50 followers and 3 average viewers streamed over about 500 minutes, 8 hours, 500 minutes. That isn't too hard for most people to do. There's a reason why there are hundreds of thousands of affiliates, because it's not that hard to do. YouTube, on the other hand, has a single level of monetization called partner. And in order to hit that, you have to get 1,000 subscribers or followers in Twitch lingo. And you have to get 4,000 hours watched of your content. That is not trivial. It is hard to do it. And because of that, that is why I'm just saying it's in the middle. Once you get partnered on YouTube, most likely you will make more money than you would on Twitch. So the next category, I believe that's 5 categories. The last category under stream management is about rules. Now, what I mean by rules is let's compare the terms of service between the two platforms and how they deal with things. And this is there is a clear winner here. YouTube, they have a strict terms of service just like Twitch does. They are a little more lenient with some things, like they are much better with the music DMCA strikes. They have a much better copyright strike functionality, and what you show on stream, they're more lenient about what you show on stream. You still can't show nudity or anything like that, but they're much more lenient with that, so you can have a wider variety of content. It's much easier to establish a niche on Twitch, on YouTube, without having it become a problem and without having it be hidden on YouTube as it is on Twitch. But what the real difference maker here on rules is DMCA copyright strikes. You will get brutalized on Twitch if you dare to play something that isn't approved or you don't have the rights to play. They don't have a multi-strike system. You could get permanently banned if they think that your violation was egregious enough. YouTube has a 3-strike plan. If you get a copyright claim or a copyright strike, clean it up. If it's just a claim, it doesn't matter. If it's a strike because you were doing something intentional and substantive, it's just 1 strike. You have 2 more chances to not, 2 more times you can mess up before you're yanked from the partner program. Twitch might be a 1 and done. And YouTube also has built-in music that you can play. You can also play different audio, like use like stream beats or something like that, like I typically use, which you can also use on Twitch. But rules is definitely in Twitch's, in YouTube's favor. Now, before I give this to YouTube, I will tell you that you're probably saying, hey, well, I saw an email from Twitch of the day that said, hey, we have reached an agreement with the recording industry. And you might be thinking, oh, we're good to go, we can play whatever you want. No, 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 no. If you read that email, what it actually says is literally nothing has changed. You're still gonna get screwed if you play music that you don't have the rights to on the stream. What they have done is they have worked out an agreement with the recording industry to say, if it seems incidental or it was a minor violation, we'll ignore it. If what they were doing wasn't significant, we'll just give them a slap on the wrist, right? But if it's not, they're still going to ban you on Twitch. You could still technically get sued on Twitch, versus YouTube has a lot more protections built in against that. You have more chances to get yourself out of trouble on YouTube than you do on Twitch. So obviously, I'm going to give the nod on that one as well to YouTube. All right, so the next category you're going to see is user engagement. There's 3 sections here. The first one is viewership. So this is from Streamlabs and its company Stream Hatchet. They produce a live streaming industry report quarterly. So if we're looking at here, you can see Q1 2020. That is when we all started working from home or just being home more. Twitch was pretty steady. They jumped up to 3.1 billion and then way the hell up to 5.1 billion. They dipped a little, but then they continued to upward rise. And that is hours watched. So a lot more people are watching these live streams. When we're talking about total hours streamed, you can see Q2, the hours streamed went down, even though the hours watched went up a little bit. And the reason why this happened is because new viewers, they still like the platform. So they're sticking around and they're watching other people. Now, unique channels follow the same exact pattern as the hours streamed per quarter. This is indicative of people going back to work or going back to school or whatever. So there's fewer people that are streaming, fewer hours being streamed, but because you had so many people watching the streams that are sticking with it, that's why you see a growth. But that growth slowed. Concurrent viewership also took a drastic increase in Q2. Again, a slower rise in Q2, but overall, it's been pretty good for Twitch. They had a big 2020 and a good 2021 start. YouTube had a big growth, a big explosion in early 2020, but they have fallen harder than Twitch has. So they also went up in Q1, Q2, and then they peaked at almost 2 billion hours watched in Q4. But then they took a big hit in Q1 21 and a smaller hit in Q2 21. But they're definitely getting to the point where they're starting to plateau. Total hours streamed. This is interesting because they peaked in Q2 2020 and then had a precipitous drop in Q3, another drop in Q4, another drop in Q1 21, another drop in Q2 21. Whereas streamed hours is literally the same as it was pre-COVID, or maybe even a little bit less if you talk about the big rise they had in Q4 in 2019. However, you're not seeing nearly the same kind of drop in the hours watched. In fact, when they peaked in Q2 2020 and then dropped to 12.5 million in Q3, they actually increased in the hours watched. So people were starting to notice YouTube live streaming more, and they were sticking with the platform. Now, and it still went up again in Q4, even though Q4 went down again for the viewers, the number of hours streamed. Now, it's only since it's started to dip back down to 9 million hours streamed per month, per quarter, that it's starting to go down a little bit, but it is still plateauing because people still like the platform. And unique channels went right along with a decline with the hours streamed, which only makes sense. If you have fewer channels, you have fewer people streaming. In fact, this is actually below pre-COVID numbers, which is very interesting. So now you have, actually pre-COVID, you were at 826,000 channels versus only 600,000 in Q2. But your hours streamed didn't dip that low, didn't dip nearly as far. So now you have fewer channels, but they're streaming more, which is now because now you have your hardcore streamers that are on YouTube and they're driving this. And the average concurrent viewership, again, did not drop as low as this. Mirrors the other one, the hours watched. For viewership, the numbers don't lie. Twitch is a giant in the industry. There's no doubt. Twitch is just is crushing this category right now. They're just absolutely crushing it. Second to last we have here is engagement. Now this one is interesting as well. These are some of the engagement tools that you have available to you on YouTube and Twitch. And here is a list of whether they have it or whether they don't. Custom chat badges, both platforms have that. Custom emotes, both platforms have that. Custom tip badges, both platforms have that. VODs, both platforms have that. Difference here, reason this is highlighted, YouTube stays forever. Twitch stays up to 60 days if you're a partner. Priority support, both are at partner level. If you get to partner level, you get priority support. Chatbot support, let me explain this one. So when you are a partner, you have the ability to register up to 2 chatbots for your stream, and they're both given lifetime subscriptions so they can do what they need to do, but only if you're a partner. YouTube right now doesn't allow chatbots other than like Streamlabs or Nightbot and things like that, so they don't really need chatbot support. So I put NA because it's just simply not necessary. Broadcast delay. Twitch gives you an additional broadcast delay if you're a partner to avoid things like stream sniping. Go live notification, yes, both platforms have that. Channel points is a fantastic thing that's been out for about 2 years in Twitch and people love it. It does not exist in YouTube, but if you're using Streamlabs, as I am now, you can make your own version of channel points. I literally recreated the channel points that I had in Twitch into YouTube. You can see the list of them below this video. Whether you're watching it live or you're watching it, you know, 3 months down the road, you can see that list. So no, YouTube does not have channel points, but you can get around it. Polls, both platforms allow you to make polls. Both platforms allow you to have mods, although admittedly, the mod setup in Twitch is much more in depth than it is in YouTube. And then the next last thing is VIPs. You can set regulars or VIPs in Twitch's system and they get a little badge. One thing, huge thing that YouTube has going for it though, is they have community posts. So this is the community page in YouTube. What this allows me to do is type a sentence or a paragraph. So this is one of the longer community posts that I wrote. You can, there's limited formatting. You can post a poll, you can post images, you can post videos. You can schedule them. I have 16 scheduled community posts. So this is an additional way that you can interact and engage people. So much you can do with that to keep people engaged. And it is a type of engagement that you do not have on Twitch. I would say that those ability to talk directly to your community and have them reply to you when you're not live on YouTube outweighs the VIP flag that you're going to get by being a regular on someone's stream. The community posts allow you to continue to grow when you're not live streaming on YouTube. So it's a really great thing. So because it is fairly balanced between the two of them, I'm gonna say that this is also right in the middle. And the last one is third-party services. Now, what I mean by this are the large number of extensions that you have available to you in Twitch. There are so many things that you can do in Twitch to engage people, to keep them active, to like the sound alerts, sound bites, text to speech. There's so many things you can do for live stream engagement through all these various extensions. Third-party sites. Some of these third-party sites are starting to go and utilize the YouTube API, but just not enough yet. Not enough yet. It's still heavily in this category on Twitch's side, and so yeah, I'm definitely giving that to Twitch. So you're looking at the chart here, and it's heavily weighted towards YouTube. But the answer for which platform you should stream on YouTube or Twitch isn't as straightforward as what you're looking at, because some of these categories are just weighted different, and it really is going to depend on what you do. right? It's going to depend on what you do. So if you are somebody that is a casual streamer that, you know, it's cool if you make a little bit of money, but that's as far as it's going to go for you, then I would absolutely recommend you stream on Twitch, because you can get to affiliate faster. So you can get monetized faster. And so you're going to start making money much sooner than you are on YouTube. And if you don't care about being with people looking for your VODs or clips, if that's just not important to you, then you're going to be able to make money faster, and you're going to have a potentially more engaging live stream because of those third-party extensions and other tools. Absolutely. If you are somebody, however, that likes to make videos, and maybe you started off doing videos and then started a live stream, your videos are probably on YouTube. You should probably be streaming on YouTube, because your videos will get an extra boost of advertising because you're live streaming. The same way that when you're on TikTok, whenever you live stream on TikTok, they start promoting your videos, your recent videos more often. So it's a similar concept. So if you're a casual streamer, Twitch is probably where you want to be. If you're somebody that makes videos, YouTube is where you want to be. If you're somewhere middle of the road where, yeah, you make videos, or you want to make more videos because you've heard everybody said that you need to have a YouTube channel in order to grow your Twitch, but you're not taking it super seriously to the point where you are thinking of your streaming career as a business, even though you're wrong, and you should, because it's not a hobby if you care about making money. It's tough to say. I personally think you should go to YouTube, but there's no fault in simply using your YouTube videos to promote your Twitch. There's nothing wrong with that. And there you go. That's what my take is, my very long take on streaming on YouTube versus Twitch.